Where we at? We are here. Where are my clappers, which I love so much? Celi's Hangout is here.
Here's one.
Finally. My clappers are always a little late, but welcome to episode 13. Oh my goodness, of Celi's Hangout. I'm so excited doing this back to school episode. Just a little update because I always do my Celi update of the week. I'm coming to you live from Washington, D.C.
D.C. Hey, President Obama.
Right, I wish I could go to
Hey, Michelle Obama. Hey. Orange is the new black. Hey.
I'm here hanging with the adorable and wonderful Adrienne Moore, guys.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
She's in New York. I'm here in D.C. Some may know, some don't. In college, I was a cheerleader. So, I'm so excited to be going to my first.
I was a basketball player.
No basketball players. But I'm going to
Go ahead. Your first ever
NFL game tonight with my little brother, my cheer sister, and a good friend from college. So I'm super excited to be going back to school, as you would say, and do something that reminds me of being in college. And speaking of back to school, let's kick it off. This is the episode of Celi's Hangout. We're speaking about what it means. It's September. Labor Day has passed us. We are now getting ready to, most young people are on
get cold.
Right, it's getting cold for some of us. Most folks are getting ready to go to school, already started school. And what that means for actors, I wanted to talk about that important conversation of what it means to go to school. And some of us choose to go to four-year conservatories. Some of us choose not to go to school and just go straight into the business. Some of us just take workshops and classes. We all have our own journeys, our own paths. And either way we do it, we're blessed with success, whatever success means to you. And know that no matter where you are in your journey, you are successful because you're doing what most people choose not to do. It's a scary thing to follow your dreams. So congratulations to all of you who do this every day. So I'm here with Adrienne Moore.
Hey.
How exciting is this? And Adrienne, talk to us. I mean, we have your fans that are here, and we know you and love you as Black Cindy on Orange is the New Black.
And I love you right back.
So congratulations to that. But of course, you went to school. You went to the new school, correct?
I went to the new school for drama. Yes, I did. Got my MFA. Got my MFA.
So, I mean, MFA, even with me, like I have my undergrad degree, not in theater. I got mine in communications, which is still helping me with what I do. So I chose a different path, but even now I'm like almost 5 years out of school and I'm debating, man, do I really need this MFA? Should I get the MFA? What does that mean? Did you do theater in undergrad as well, or you just undergrad you chose a different path?
You know, actually, I'm much like you. So I went to Northwestern University. Shout out to Chi-Town, Evanston, and all my Wildcats in in Illinois. I was just actually there this past weekend before last, visiting my family because my nephew was just christened and we were celebrating my mom's birthday and just a fun time with family. And I always try and make it up to Northwestern, to the campus, just to look around, see, how it's changing, see what hasn't changed, see what I remember, still hang out with my classmates. Things like that, because those are the memories that you're going to hold on to when you go to college. In addition to, of course, whatever you study, but you're going to hold on to those friendships, the location and the smell and the scenery and all. What happened every Friday night, and Saturday night and all that kind of stuff. But I went to Northwestern to pursue talk about career change. I was dead set on becoming a doctor.
What?
A doctor.
Let me find out.
Let you find out. I actually attended a summer program some summers before at Xavier University down in New Orleans, so shout out to you guys. And I did a ChemStar program, and I was so in love with the sciences, and my mom has a background in sciences, so that's what I wanted to do. And my mother wanted me to look at other schools, and particularly schools that could help finance my education, because, you know, it's difficult out there. And I had found a way. I got a scholarship, a full ride to go to Northwestern. At the time, to pursue something else, but I ended up going to Northwestern. Let me just say that, fighting my mother tooth and nail at first, but once I got there, I fell in love with the campus. I fell in love with the gargoyles and the buildings, and that's where I studied psychology, which was my major, and then I minored in history and religion.
Wow.
And theater was always a part of my background growing up. But I, at the time, was thinking about pursuing more, you know, social sciences, you know, the real world careers, as the world likes to talk about. So that's what I was doing, and it was after working, and I graduated, started working in the real world, and realized I wasn't really happy. I felt that I had more to give and more to do, and every night I would, like, my shows were like Nick at Night. I'd watch the lineup of Nick at Night. I'd watch the lineup of E! True Hollywood Stories. Oh, absolutely, because I would just sit there at midnight, at like late nights, 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. No, I had to get up and go to work, just dreaming and thinking about other things. And I remember one night specifically, I was watching an episode of E! True Hollywood. It was like they were in repeat, you know, just one episode after the other. I can't remember what I was watching and whose story I was watching, but they were talking about their rise to fame, and you know how they bring back actors or friends or family members or school teachers to talk about their journey in the process. And I would always think, who are they going to bring to talk about me? And I was starting to think, I hope I didn't make any enemies in my lifetime, because I don't want anybody talking bad about me. And then it hit me like a ton of bricks, and this voice said, girl, ain't nobody gonna be talking about you because you sitting here watching the TV late at night. You ain't doing nothing with your life or your career. And that woke me up. And so the next day began my education back into the performing arts. I found a theater that I used to do, you know, classes at, and, you know, around Atlanta when I wasn't busy with my high school activities. Shout out to B. Mays High School and Sutton Middle. Thank you. And Sutton Middle School, all in Atlanta. I started back at those theaters, and then literally one thing led to another, and I found a company acting studio very much like the Lee Strasberg here, but in Atlanta it was focused on the Stella Adler conservatory type training. It was called the Company Acting Studio. And so I started there, and then I think I was in that program for about a year or so before I said, okay, now I need to maybe start trying to audition. And so I did some small community theater, and then, you know, I started booking little small community theater while I was still maintaining my full 9-to-5, until it came to the point where a decision had to be made. And so actually the decision was made for me because I was laid off my job. but I had been hoping and praying and wishing for an opportunity to sort of like come that would tell me that I need to do this. And honestly, being laid off my job was that answer for me.
Right.
And so that's when
They say be careful what you pray for, because you
be careful, be careful.
And you got laid off your job.
I did, and so I of course, because, you know, I'm a grown woman and I got grown woman bills, I did have to get, you know, a temporary job, and I started working at the CNN Center, the Turner Broadcasting, as you guys know here in New York, the Time Warner. But Ted Turner worked there as a temp, and started figuring out my schooling and what I would do, and started auditioning for things. And Next thing I know, 2005, I had been accepted to school. This was in 2003. 2004, I got laid off. 2005, I had been accepted to a school and started in 2006 in New York, August 1st, 2006.
But the question for me that I always have for folks who make that big decision is, there are plenty of us in the business who just said, you know what, I want to be on TV, I want to do film, I want to be in theater, I'm just going to go and act. And there's some of us that say, well, I want to study the craft, and for those who've never been to a conservatory school, I know I haven't, but I've sat in on classes and know a lot of people who have. It's a huge commitment. It's like your whole life becomes the craft. I mean, you're 9 a.m. to sometimes 11 p.m. because you're in classes and then rehearsal, and it's a big decision. So why did you decide education and not just keep doing workshops and, you know, pursuing your career in that way? You decided, I'm going to take 4 years out of my life and just focus on the craft in, you know, education.
Well, because I think you have to know what your personality is. I think that's the first thing you have to ask yourself. Some people are the academics, and so they thrive well in an academic situation, and they need that. Some people are more grassroots, and they learn on the mean streets, you know. And the question becomes finding the way to marry the two, because whether you make it a school, you know, decide to do a 3-year commitment like I did for grad school, or you do a workshop that is just a couple of, you know, it's, you know, like conservatory, like I'm not sure how Lee Strasberg's conservatory works, but I'm pretty sure they always got something going on there, and, you know, it's almost like a certified degree or certificate type thing. Or you have places like even one-on-one. I did one-on-one after graduating from the new school. One-on-one productions was a wonderful opportunity for me because it put me in touch with a lot of casting directors and agents. And every opportunity, whatever you do, every opportunity is, and I was just speaking to someone on the phone about this, is your time to leave your business card. So whether you're meeting with an agent, a network executive, whatever it is, it's be yourself, because that is your calling card. You know what I'm saying? And so I was even going to one-on-one because I think in some way Adrienne, kind of thrive off the academic perspective, because I have a lot of street smarts. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
But the academics helped focus and structure my studies because I knew I wanted to make it a lifelong career. Not saying those that don't do it, you know, don't have that focus. But for me, I believe the evolution of my career, prayerfully and hopefully, will go beyond just acting. So I want to understand the business, you know, not only from, like I said, you know, just working on television and working in theater, but also from an academic, but also from a business standpoint. So yeah. So I kind of thrive off of the nerdy stuff sometimes.
And I mean, it's important. Like you said, I think one of the biggest points you made was knowing who you are, and we talk about that on Celi's Hangout a lot. Like, soul searching, living your life, being a well-rounded actor means being a well-rounded human being, doing other things, really finding out what works for you. And school isn't for everyone, not just like in the acting world. We mean that in the world. Not everyone goes to college, and
because people can't afford it, especially today. Especially today.
Sally Mae is knocking on my door every month. I don't know.
Girl, I got a couple of them knocking on mine. They lined up. I can hear them right now.
Those student loans are no joke. And
they're not.
I think you said something else too about some people thrive in the academic world, and I know my colleagues and I, we talk about it often, that there are certain actors and artists that get so caught up in just taking classes, taking classes, taking classes. They're not necessarily auditioning or booking work, because yes, they do well in the classroom setting. But for you, you've been able to be successful in both. You attained your career, attained your degree, and now have had a beautiful career working with greats like Tanya Pinkins.
Yes.
Folks know you.
Tanya.
Yes. People know you from Orange is the New Black, but you have an amazing theater career.
Thank you.
My theater actors, I have a bias. Start in the theater.
Thank you.
How were you able to make sure that you can balance the two? Again, you took 3 years out of your life to commit to school, but you were able to balance both. How can you talk to folks who make this decision, who are scared? I know for me, one of the biggest decisions, what makes me scared of making the decision is like, wow, so, okay, you have to give up the next 3 years of your life. What's going to happen to your career if you go into school now? By the time I get out, I'll be 30, I'll be in the threes. What does that mean?
Yeah. Celi, you just said it. You just said, I'm scared to make the decision. I'm scared to make the decision.
Yeah.
I was scared. I'm still scared. But that fear, it's like I think fear can do two things to two people. One of two things. Fear can creep in and it can hold a person from what they want to do. Or because they're even afraid to acknowledge the fear. They know it's there, but they're afraid to acknowledge it. And so because they don't acknowledge it, they tend to hold on to whatever it is that's keeping them back. Now, the other side of fear is acknowledging what you're afraid of. So for you, you're afraid of what it could do towards the advancement of your career. Because you think you'll be putting a pin in your career to go to school. I would challenge you to say, okay, that is my fear. So let me go see what's on the other side of it. Right. And that's what I do. That's what I try to do. I don't win at it every day. I don't. Trust me, I still have my fears and the things that hold me back. I still do. And that's a part of my journey, and they'll reveal themselves and they'll come to fruition, and I'll face them when I'm ready. But for right now, where I am, I'm trying my best to face the fear that I have today.
I love that.
And right now, the fear is, with the success of Orange is the New Black, a lot of actors.
Yes, an amazing show that I love. We love Orange.
The fear is, well, what's after that? So many times in our career, we see actors that have that boom, and they're big, and they're all over the press, and they're here and there, and they're everywhere, and then the next minute you don't hear from them, and you're like, I could have sworn I heard 5 years ago they were doing this. You know what I'm saying? So that's my fear. The fear of not maintaining relevance, I guess. But even in that journey, that's going to be its own lessons and its own things that I will uncover and learn about. It doesn't matter what's on that other side. It doesn't matter if you may not become relevant to the world. You're relevant to somebody. You're relevant because you have a purpose. So I try and look at the things that I fear, and I try to approach them in my life. I try to approach them through my characters, and I try and be honest about it. I have parents. I was just thinking about them this morning, and just being grateful with how much they sacrificed for the three of us. My twin sister. And my my twin sister. There's two of me. Shout out to my sister, and I have an older brother who's only 2 years older than me. So I have parents who were dealing with trying to provide for kids that were so close in age, and college turns around and things like that. It's like, we all know how bills stack up, so you can imagine how some college bills stacked up, for all of us. But they found a way, and I was able to go to Northwestern. My sister was able to go to Emory, and then she went on to law school, and then my brother went to Stanford University and went on to business school, because they taught us, the importance and the value of an education, because it is expensive. Right. But when you know the value of it, it's worth it.
Adrienne, you're saying such amazing things, because, my father, God rest his soul,
God rest him,
had 2 PhDs, and by the age of 8, I was sitting in a Harvard classroom. And my father just always taught me the importance of education. I can say this, I came illegally into this country. I was a legal immigrant, and then so when I
welcome.
Right, I'm now a U.S. citizen. I cannot be kicked out the country, people. I am here to stay. But when I hit 18 and I made that, like, it was kind of just not a question. After high school, you just go to college. There was no, but by my senior year of high school, I was already doing off-Broadway on 42nd Street. So, you're young, you get big-headed, and I said, you know what, I'm going to be a star. Like, I don't need to go to school. And then I looked at my parents, who both sacrificed a lot to bring me into this country, sacrificed their livelihoods, who they were, and I didn't want to be another statistic of an illegal immigrant that doesn't make something of the American dream. So, I finished my education, and now, again, and now that my dad's passed, I promised him I'd get at least 1 PhD. And so my MFA is something that's really, really, like, tapping me on my shoulder. But I want to go to the best. I want to go to either Yale or Juilliard or Harvard. Not that those names are that important. But I went to an HBCU. Shout out to Norfolk State University.
Yes, girl. I got mine. Look, I may not have went to Northwestern, but I still have my black college experience, okay? Because even in high school, I was hanging up out at Spelman and Morehouse. Peace.
Spelman and Morehouse. Shout out to the HBCU.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's what I'm saying. So, but now as I've gotten older, I feel like I want to have the other side of the spectrum. Exactly. Face my fear. That fear of what it means to be a Latina black woman in the Ivy League kind of, because there's this stigma that we feel like we won't belong, coming from the inner city. Will we be able to fit in educationally? Do we know the same? And even with theater sometimes, as artists, we can be very, very intimidating of one another and walk in a room and pretend like we know every Shakespeare play that has ever been written. And that,
I don't.
And most don't. But at 18, that was the fear of going to one of those big schools. It was like, will I be able to measure up to the middle class kids that grew up with theater in a way that inner city kids don't?
Wow, that's you're speaking. You're saying so much right now. I'm gonna say real quick. A couple of people are texting me trying to say they're trying to join the chat.
Okay.
So I just want to make sure that everyone that wants to get on can get on.
Right. For those of you who want.
So tell me what I need to tell them.
Right, I can say it live too because they're probably watching. If you just add casting actors of color, I put the link up on our @CeliHangout on Twitter. So if you follow us at CeliHangout, if you go on the casting actors of color page on Google+, add us to your circle. It doesn't matter what, friends, acquaintances, I will add you back and you just join the Hangout. Refresh the page and it'll allow you to join the Hangout because it's only shared to folks who are in our circle. Once you join the circle, you can join the Hangout.
Okay, so can you include my tweet on that too? My tweet name so people can know, so then I can forward the link out as well. Okay, great. So we'll continue to work on this as we discuss it. But I don't want to. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's
from what
fine.
you were saying. But yeah, you're saying a lot when you talk about that intimidation factor, because you know I was blessed that I grew up in a, you know, sort of a gentrified neighborhood, but I still know that feeling of, you know, being the only African American kid oftentimes in situations, and what that feels like. So I acknowledge that, and I hear that, and I would just say, in today's age, all right, okay, you know, we got Barack Obama as president, so let's do this thing. Let's do this thing.
Right, and I've learned from being in this career that we come in all, you know, everyone has started on different levels, and that doesn't determine success. I mean, there are folks that went to the big schools and aren't doing as much work as other people. There are folks that didn't go to school at all and are like beaming and doing amazing. That doesn't, comparing your journey to other folks doesn't get you anywhere, and it definitely doesn't define where you're going. You define where you go. You create your own path. And so I think it's just a beautiful thing to be having this conversation on CeliHangout. If you want to make a comment, ask Adrienne a question, tweet us at CeliHangout, or leave a comment right under the comment section on the YouTube page, YouTube.com/CeliHangout. Episode 13, I'm so excited to be having this conversation. September, it's the time of pilot season, going back to school. It's a very, very busy time of the year. The fall is summer is almost over, and so it's a time to really recollect ourselves and figure out where we are in our journey, and kind of take a moment to reflect on what our new goals are before the year is out. We got a good 3 months left to make the best of 2013. So that's what we're talking about, folks. So, Adrienne, I know you watched the Hangout with your fellow castmates, and with our ladies from Orange. I'm so sorry you missed it, but I'm happy that we got you on the show now.
Yes.
So I want to talk to you just a little bit about, like, you know, you graduated in 09. Shout outs to class of 09.
All those.
I graduated in 09 too. So I just want to know, I mean, it was quite a journey from 09, from upon completing that hard work that you did for school, to now, 2013, to being like one of the most popular shows on the internet right now.
I mean, when things happen, you know, it's something that I couldn't have fathomed. Honest, I mean, a real talk. I couldn't have fathomed it. You know, we all, when I came on the project, you know, and if you watched first season already, in the 7th episode. So when I came in, there was already this spirit of community and camaraderie and togetherness, and everybody has each other's back, and we're just making all of this work. And we don't know what's going to happen, but we working. we have somewhere to go to every day, and they paying us. They giving us a paycheck. So come on.
Shout out to the paycheck.
You know, and of course, you know, it's Genji Cohan and you know, Taylor Schilling and Jason Biggs and Natasha Leone and Uzo, who I've known about from going back to theater, as you said earlier, from Godspell and other things, and you know, I mean, I was like, when I found out who was in the cast, and Kate Mulgrew, I mean, just the list goes on and on. I was just like, I don't know what's going to happen, but you talk about a mix of people. You got Leah DeLaria, Alicia Reiner, Kate Mulgrew, Jason Biggs, Natasha, Kate, you know, Taylor, like all these people from different and varied varied places in the entertainment business and varied levels in their career, but all talented, and so many New York artists that, like myself, are just starting to get a voice and just put our little face up on the screen for 2 seconds. You know, we're having this chance, and then you get all that kind of craziness together. Just it's going to be an explosion, which has become Orange is the New Black. And you know, I love that I even get to be a part of whatever this is going to do for history, for whatever it's going to do, because being that it's at a time where digital media and Netflix is creating its own original content for streaming, you know, and so you don't have to, you know, because we all out there trying to, in the rat race, trying to you know, rub 2 dimes together to make it work. So we don't have time to be home at 8 o'clock anymore. You know, we out still making money. So to be able to come home and to watch something at your own leisure and to get invested in the characters and the storyline, it's brilliant. It's brilliant, and everyone on the show is brilliant, and everyone that I've met with Netflix and with Lionsgate and that comes to, you know, the set when we get to meet them just brings this spirit of togetherness. So I love it.
I want to, yeah, I mean, your cast is amazing.
We have our, hi.
Hey,
Hi.
Lynette.
Hey, I'm late, guys.
No, welcome. Never late.
It's our good friend Lynette Freeman. She's another beautiful artist who we adore, who's just traveled back from Ohio, who's working on theater out there. So
No, actually,
Wonderful.
coming back from Pittsfield, Massachusetts, and doing a co-pro of Clybourne Park.
I just spoke to Crystal Dickinson this morning.
Trying to channel her.
Right.
the community is so small, and we love it. This is what Celi's Hangout is about, folks joining in on the call. So if you want to join, I just want to say tweet us at CeliHangout. I want to give a special shout-out to Stephen J. Patrick, who's tuning in.
Steven, that's my boy.
Yes, and your cousin, I have to pull up the names because they're all like,
Ali,
yes,
my cousin is Ali.
Like, you're looking good, cuz they're watching. Shout outs to Monica and my Orange Gladiators, Jazzy Guy, Orange is the New Black, Beyond, and everyone who has been supporting Celi's Hangout from day one. So
thank you.
So Lynette, you're joining us. We're talking about, you know, back to school and what that all means. And I was telling Adrienne how, you know, from 2009 to now 2013 for the success of her new show.
Yes, congratulations.
It's quite a journey.
Thank you.
Fellow 09er here too. So
yes.
09. Woo-hoo.
Exactly, 09. So I wanted to ask both you ladies, do you feel that your education has prepared you of what it means to be in the audition room for these kind of big projects, what it means for you, Adrienne, to do television, and for, you know, Lynette, for you to be working regionally? Like, did school prepare you for what it means to be in the business?
I'll let you take it first.
I think that in certain ways it has, in certain ways not. Just because I went to the Brown Trinity program, and it was really great
nice.
In terms of like helping make me like an interdisciplinary artist. Like, we're forced to, while we were there, do playwriting and directing and physical theater and clowning and singing and just leap, just do it.
Wow.
And, you know, given also parts that stretched us, that we were like, I don't know if I'm ready to, I have to play someone who's 70 now. Okay, all right. You know, that sort of thing. And it filled us, I think, it filled me, I'll say, just speak for myself, with just a lot of kind of confidence in my own abilities, in being told, like, no, you can totally do leading woman. You may think that you're an actor, but no, you can totally do leading woman, and you have what it takes to do, you know, a variety of roles, and just basically given a great toolbox to go out into the world. what it didn't prepare me for necessarily was the entire kind of hustle sometimes. The like understanding that sometimes the casting, you wouldn't necessarily understand it. You won't necessarily like, why wasn't I called in for that? Or I thought I did such a great job in the room, you know, and but understanding that it's par for the course. That essentially you just have to show up, do your thing, and leave. And just because I also post showcase, I didn't graduate with an agent, and I still don't have an agent today. But what it has taught me is definitely that hustle, and ultimately I was like, wait a minute, am I courting agents or am I finding work? You know, and essentially what it's come up for me has just been like, yo, do the work, just do work, find the work. And for some reason that has also translated to me meeting lots of wonderful and amazing people and finding that work kind of begat work. And I really, really, really love that. Instead of and so that when it does come to the time that I do have a team, you know, and essentially also understanding, I think when I go into it now, when I do get a team, understanding that the team works with me and for me, and I don't necessarily work for them. Whereas coming right out of grad school, I was really eager, and I was like, and what, you know, whatever an agent says goes, and I'm like, no, actually now I've kind of gotten on my own. I have my own process now, and understanding. I'm learning. It's forcing me without an agent, I think, right now, also to learn how to be a business person myself. To learn how to be like, look at contracts and to ask for what I'm worth, even if I don't get it, because that still intimidates me. And I definitely I feel like I'm really blessed and thankful for just a lot of other, you know, artists who I've met, who I can go to, I feel like, as friends, as sister friends, and be like, girl, I don't understand, like, how, when you sign that other contract, what happened? And, you know, having them be like, no, I asked for this, and this. Don't be afraid, you know, and really learning, I think, from my peers has been really great. But yeah, it has prepared me with the technical things to do, and an understanding about my process, and understanding about, yes, I can walk into a room and handle that whatever, you know. But also I think over time, from 2009 to now, I've learned just by the hustle and everything like that, and then what I need, what I don't need, what I can handle when I get overwhelmed, and how that affects me. And I think that also we had some great professors who also expressed to us, if it's yours, it'll know your name. And one of the things that the heads of my program said at our graduation was like, your career is going to go like this all the time. Sometimes it's going to be really, you know, you're going to be booking one after another, and you're going to see your career take off, and sometimes it's going to plateau, and sometimes it's going to be like nothing. Understand, that's what this life is that we've chosen. Right. And so really taking that to heart.
Thank you so much, Lynette. I want to, before Adrienne gets her question, Adrienne, you have, like, of course, you know, your fan base and folks like tweeting me and asking me questions. So just to backtrack a little bit, I know Jazzy Guy asked, are there any differences in filming the second season now that the first season has been released?
No. I mean, if there's any difference, it's probably people are more excited than last season to, you know, get to work every day and to, you know, to be on set and just to you know, it's actually like I have a couple days off this week, and God knows I needed them because I had you know, last week was really crazy filming, but it's Monday and I'm missing being there right now. Now, how many times can you say after the weekend? It's Saturday, Sunday, and you just like, ooh, Lord, it's my weekend. Yeah. And then Monday rolls around, you like, Lord, it's Monday. But I'm like, it's Monday, and I don't have to be on set until this day, and I want to be there right now, you know?
And
so
I think a lot of people don't necessarily get that. They think that as an artist, every job is our dream job, and we have so much fun, and not the case. You know, being an actor is a job too, and you're going to take on jobs and roles, or you may be in environments that aren't as happy and healthy as the environment you like to have. So we're sometimes in plays or in gigs where, yeah, I mean, we can't wait to get home and kick our feet up and kind of just lean back.
Yeah, it totally changes, like, also during the course of things. Sometimes you could be like, I don't understand this part, and and we're still working on Act 1, Lord Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And then later on, once you really get into it, and then you start up on your feet, or some small thing like you put on your costume, and you're like, wait, I want to do this all the time. You know?
Exactly.
And something as small as that, or depending on
Yeah, I mean, so I'd say, getting back to your question, that's the only difference. I think people are more excited to, you know, be on set, to film these episodes, to get them into editing, and to get them, you know, whatever, you know, the process that they go through, so we can get them out, because we're just as much invested in learning about the characters and their stories and what's going on as the audience is. I remember even with last season, you know, because getting back to what I was saying, I came on late, so I wasn't privy to episodes 1 through 6 and what was going on, and, you know, people were kind of telling me stuff, you know, so I could contextualize it. But when people would ask me, you know, so what's the thing, what's it about, and what can we do, I'd be like, I don't know, because I don't know if they will edit together. It's like, I'm going to find out with you. So we're just as eager to see how all of this is going to be put together. We can't wait. We can't wait.
I mean, we can't wait. I'm going to let in some folks on our term Orange Gladiators, hashtag Orange Gladiators. We came up with it after the Orange is the New Black episode on Celi's Hangout. We decided that, sorry folks if you can't see me, we're having timeout issues, but Orange Gladiators come from the term of, you know, we're Scandal fans too. We love Scandal. Can't wait for my girl Kerry Washington to come back. And so Orange became like our other drug for our Scandal kind of like fix, because we were all like, summer needs to hurry up and finish so we could see Scandal. And then Orange came, and it was like this amazing show that we like can't get enough of. And now it's like, we have to wait for season 2 till next year. So it's it's the same kind of like anticipation. So we are Orange Gladiators. We hold the torch up for both shows, and we love to see our folks working. That's what it's really about.
And thank you.
Working. And
thank you.
These shows are putting our folks in the forefront, and that's what it's all about. So
yes.
So Adrienne, back to that question. Do you feel like prepared you for this?
You know, I have to say, and this is why I was saying, you know, some other people I think wanted to come on the conversation, because there's some actors from Orange that I think that I'm not. Some of them went to school, some of them didn't go to school. So just to kind of round out the perspective, but from my perspective, I'm very much like Lynette. I graduated without an agent and a manager, and but you know, I had years prior to that. I worked in marketing and advertising. And so I know the first bit of importance of myself being being the talent and being I have to be my best marketer. And so my career when I first started out was what door's gonna open, because when it's open, I'm gonna say, look, this is what I can do before, I'm like, my name is Adrienne, I can do this before it closes. You know, and that's what led me, as I was saying earlier, to one-on-one productions where I was taking workshops with casting directors and networking and not of course, going in there with high aspirations of, oh, I hope they love me and they cast me in the next movie that they're doing. That didn't happen, but I did gain the attention of one casting director. I have to give her a shout out because I love her to death. Elaine Aldaffer, who's the casting director at Playwrights Horizons here in New York, and she is a big advocate for actors. She loves actors. She does a retreat every year to Costa Rica just for actors, for them to focus on themselves and do their own thing. And I'm trying to find the time in my schedule to go one year because, I mean, we need that moment where we just center ourselves and focus on ourselves. But she started inviting me in to sit as a reader for the things that she cast for, not only with Playwrights, but with Huntington Theater and with Arena Stage. And so, me being the person that I am and trying to capitalize on every opportunity, even as a reader, I made sure I was there, I was prepped, I knew the script, I knew who the characters were, and I was there for the artist. Because the more I was there for them, the more they shined. And the more they shined, the more it made me look good, And I remember quite vividly, they were casting Stick Fly, and you had Kenny Leon in the room. Wow. Lydia Diamond. You had reps from Arena Stage and I think Huntington Stage all in the room. And there was this one moment where Lydia, says to me, she looks over, she says, I really like how you're reading the characters. You really understand them. I like that. And me, I mean, I was literally doing it primarily because it was an amazing script, first of all. And it's like, this script deserves the voice of these characters. And if I can help another actor out, then yay, I'm getting my $10 for the day. But and it was in that moment then that I would see, in other casting sessions where I was the reader, where I would see, great actors that I've seen on television and on theater come in and how they commanded their audition. It was their audition. They didn't come in there thinking, oh, I hope you cast me. Oh, I hope I'm the right height or the size or the color, or I hope I get all my lines right. It was their audition. They told me what they needed me to do, and they said, okay, let's play. And they asked questions or whatever they did, and however they handled themselves in that audition, that was their audition. And I said, oh, that's how they do it. That's how you're supposed to do it. I mean, I have to tell you, in this business, you have to be a quick study. One of my wonderful Shakespearean teachers, Jean Lasco at the New School for Drama, used to say in class, you have to learn how to process big moments very quickly. You have to learn how to take big adjustments quickly. And so I try to do that, and I try to apply that even in my personal life, and as I'm building and learning my career. When I'm even at Orange, I'm sitting at the I don't even know if I'm sitting at the table, but I'm certainly around the table of some great artists and writers and directors. I mean, they had Jodie Foster up in that mug. So, yes, I wasn't there for that one. But we've had Andrew McCarthy, Philip, Alexander. We've had so many, Michael. So many great people. And like I said, actors that I'm learning from, that it's more than just, like in Lorraine Toussaint just joined the cast, and I've been a fan of hers for years. And so you know, you have to take these opportunities and say, well, what else beside me just being Black Cindy on this show? What else is the lesson here? My ears, my eyes, my heart, you know, it's open. I need to close my mouth a little bit more and just, you know, take it all in. And same thing, you know, when I did 30 Rock with Tina Fey, you know, blessed to do 2 episodes with them and learn from her and learn from James Marsden and that whole crew. So, you know, all that to say, to get back to your original question, I didn't start off with an agent or a manager. I was my agent and my manager, and I learned quickly. And after being in Elaine's presence, you know, she, and after doing some readings with her, she felt I was ready to audition for some stuff, and so she brought me in for Milk Like Sugar, which I did was cast in, which started my professional which started my professional stage career in La Jolla. And the funny thing is, I think there was a conversation where she told me if the show had just been in New York, I wouldn't have needed my equity card. But the fact that we had to go out of town regionally to La Jolla, I had to then become an equity member. So I'm always shout out to the regional theater because y'all got me my equity card.
Hey. I mean, we're having such an amazing conversation, and I'm so sad that Celi's Hangout is almost over. I say this every episode, like the hour goes by so fast, but I just want to continue to reiterate, you know, and these 2 wonderful ladies on the show with us, Lynette Freeman and Adrienne Moore, talented, amazing actresses. I've had the chance to work with Lynette. We did a reading together, and she's brilliant.
Good.
Oh,
and one day I will be working with Adrienne. I'm speaking life into that.
Soon, Mama,
So,
soon.
I just want to like.
I would be honored. I would be so honored.
Oh, thank you. The honor is mine. Really, I just think that it's one of those things where, again, education is all around us, and you know, as
exactly
says, you know, we are merely players. You know, all the world's a stage. You know, and so it's up to you to decide where you want to learn, how you want to learn, but make the most of it. Don't let anything or anyone hold you back from what you truly believe is your path, because your path is uniquely made by a divine, you know, I don't want to offend anyone, but in my world, there is someone upstairs who already has a divine path for me, and I have to just walk in that and believe in that, and the rest will happen as it may. So I just want to say, I love you 2.
We love you.
Please
tell everyone how they can follow you, stay in touch with you. They can be hip to your careers. Lynette, I want to come up to Massachusetts. Please tell me.
Please do.
I have to come see you in Clybourne Park.
Wait, you're in Massachusetts? That's where Crystal is. She's doing a show right now at ART, so definitely go check it out. With Bryan Cranston, by the way. I mean, speaking of obsessions, Breaking Bad is seriously my obsession.
Yes. I'll Facebook Crystal just to see, you know, because surprisingly Massachusetts is huge.
Oh, well, she's in Cambridge.
Okay.
Yes, that is true. But why don't you leave your information first, Miss Lynette?
Yeah, you can contact me. I don't have a website yet, so it's still in development. But via Facebook, Lynette R. Freeman.
Are you on Twitter, Lynette?
I am on Twitter. Lynette, that's LYNNETTE R. Freeman.
Okay, I'm getting
FREE.
FREEMAN. I'm like the Twitter and the Facebook. I sound like my mother, but yeah.
So it's Freeman is MAN, right? I'm gonna tweet it out to everyone so they can follow you.
Yes, please follow.
And yes, please follow Lynette R. Freeman. I certainly am. I'm gonna find you on Facebook. Can we be Facebook friends?
Yes, please.
Okay, good. Okay, good. And then for me, you know, it's at Amore9 on Twitter. On Instagram, it's at letter C, More9. And then if you, I mean, I'm sure everyone can go to IMDb for Orange is the New Black. And if you can get, I don't want to bore you with the lengthy spelling of Adrienne C. Moore, but if you go to Facebook and type in Adrienne Moore, 2 O's, RE. Then you'll see my fan page. Please come find me there and let me know you were on the show today watching, and that just say hi. I like saying hi back to people. I think my Twitter friends would tell you I'm talking to them all the time.
And I'm also on Instagram, which is NetNet, NETTE 1019.
That's my nickname for my twin sister.
NetNet.
It was meant to be.
And she hates it because it's from when she was a baby.
Mine is from when I was a baby too. My mom still calls me NetNet.
Oh my God, I love this. Guys,
Crazy.
This has been awesome. This has been another episode of Celi's Hangout.
Congratulations, girl.
Yes,
Thank you.
Thank you for doing this show in general. Like, thank you for birthing this.
I can all be thanks to God. He gave me the vision, and I just followed suit. I said I have to do this. So follow us at CeliHangout. Tweet us. Let us know what you thought about today's episode. Of course, for those who missed it, because it is a special back-to-school afternoon episode, our usual time is 7:30 p.m. every Monday night. But it's recorded, so in about a few minutes, you'll be able to still watch it on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/CeliHangout. So tell a friend to watch the show and recap on this beautiful conversation if you join in late with Adrienne and Lynette. So have a wonderful and blessed week, everyone, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you so much.